The first sip of champagne in Paris should have been perfect. Instead, my hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped the glass. 28 years old, and this was my first real vacation, my first time truly alone. I'm April, and until 3 months ago, I was everyone's favorite ATM. The hotel room window framed the Eiffel Tower like a postcard, its lights just starting to twinkle in the dusk. I pressed my forehead against the cool glass, trying to convince myself this was real, that I'd actually done it, escaped. Mademoiselle, your additional towels? A voice called through the door. Just a moment. I set down my champagne and straightened my sweater. The same sweater I'd worn on 3 job interviews last week before finally getting approved for remote work. The same sweater I'd worn when I told Mom I was done paying her rent. I opened the door. No towels. Just Mom's familiar perfume and Truman's cocky smile. Surprise, sweetie? Mom burst past me into the room, dragging 2 massive suitcases. Oh, look at this view. You always did know how to pick the nice places. My throat closed up. The room started spinning. Truman followed her in carrying a leather weekender bag that probably cost more than my monthly salary. The same bag he'd packed when he left me for Faith last year. Hey, April. His voice was honey smooth practice. You look good. I backed away until I hit the window. What are you? How did you? Now don't be dramatic. Mom was already opening drawers, claiming space. We thought it was time for a family healing trip, time to put the past behind us. Family? I choked out. He cheated on me with my best friend. Ancient history. Truman waved his hand dismissively. I've changed. Ask your mom. We've been talking for weeks about this reunion. Weeks. They'd been planning this for weeks, while I worked overtime to afford this trip, while I finally started therapy, while I thought I was breaking free. My champagne glass sat abandoned on the side table, bubbles going flat. Mom picked it up, took a long sip, and grimaced. Cheap stuff, honey. Remember that beautiful Veuve Clicquot Truman used to buy? I watched her drain my glass, my first taste of Paris, and something inside me cracked. Get out. Don't be silly, Mom laughed. We came all this way, and you know how much I've always wanted to see Paris. Yeah, I know, because every time I mentioned saving for this trip, you told me how selfish I was for not taking you. April. Truman stepped closer, all white teeth and designer cologne. Let's just have dinner, talk things through. Your mom says you've been struggling lately, making some questionable choices. The champagne bottle was still cold in my hand when I grabbed it. Get out now! Or what? Mom's voice turned sharp. You'll throw away another chance at happiness? Truman has connections here, opportunities. Think about your future for once instead of being so selfish. My future, right. The one I put on hold for years while working 2 jobs to cover Mom's emergencies. While Truman built his career using my industry contacts. While my sister Quinn took out loans in my name. I pulled out my phone. Leave or I'm calling hotel security. And this time, Mom, I mean it. No more chances. You ungrateful little... Mom started, but Truman caught her arm. Let's give her time to calm down, he said smoothly. We're in room 512. When you're ready to be reasonable, come find us. They left, but not before Mom snatched my room key from the entry table. Just in case, she smiled sweetly. You know how worried I get. The door clicked shut. I slid down the wall, still clutching the champagne bottle, and stared at the Eiffel Tower through blurring eyes. My great escape, my fresh start, invaded in under 3 hours. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Don't forget who paid for your college, sweetie. Family comes first, always. I hurled the champagne bottle into the bathroom trash can. It shattered, and the sound was so satisfying I almost smiled. Almost. I spent the night barricaded in my room with the desk chair wedged under the door handle. By morning, my phone had 17 missed calls and 32 texts. Most were from Mom, but 5 were from Truman. Let's do breakfast, my treat. Don't be childish. I still think about you every day. Your mom says you're throwing your life away. I miss us. The last one made me laugh out loud. Us, right. Like when he missed us so much, he slept with Faith in our apartment while I worked late to pay Mom's medical bills. A knock at the door made me jump. Room service. I checked the peephole carefully before opening it. The young server wheeled in a cart loaded with croissants, fresh fruit, and coffee I definitely hadn't ordered. Compliments of Madam in room 512, he said cheerfully. She insists you eat something. Of course, Mom's favorite tactic. Force feed me into submission. I'd gained 15 pounds the last time she lived with me, stress eating her guilt-trip casseroles. Please take it back, I said, but he was already gone. My phone rang again. Mom, what part of leave me alone wasn't clear? I answered. Did you get breakfast? You're so thin lately, it's concerning. Truman noticed too. Stop, just stop. I grabbed my purse. I'm turning off my phone. Do not try to find me. We're having dinner at 8, she continued as if I hadn't spoken. That lovely little place near the tower, Truman's treating. He has such exciting news about his new venture. I hung up and fled the room. The hotel corridor felt endless, every corner potentially hiding Mom or Truman. I made it to the elevator and pressed the button repeatedly, praying. The doors opened. Truman stood inside. Perfect timing, he smiled. Going down? I turned toward the stairs, but he caught my arm. April, wait, please. 5 minutes? His touch sent electricity through me, not attraction, but pure rage. I yanked away. Don't ever touch me again. Look, I know I messed up. He held up his hands in surrender. But your mom's right. We were good together, really good. And now I'm in a position to give you everything you deserve. Everything I deserve? The elevator doors closed behind him, trapping us in the hallway. Like watching my best friend walk out of our bedroom wearing your shirt. That was a mistake. I was stressed. You were always working to support my family, while you used my contacts to build your career, then cheated on me the second you got successful. He had the audacity to look hurt. I've changed. Ask your mom. We've been talking for months. She says you're lost, working too hard, pushing everyone away. My phone buzzed. Another text from Mom. Be reasonable, sweetie. Truman's company is expanding to Paris. Think of the opportunities. Something clicked. I opened her message thread, scrolling up through deleted messages until I found it. A conversation from 3 weeks ago. Got the tickets. April doesn't suspect a thing. Remember our deal. You help him establish European connections through her network, and he'll make sure we're both taken care of. She just needs a little push to forgive and forget. My hands started shaking. How much? What? Truman stepped back. How much did you promise her to help orchestrate this little reunion? His face changed, just for a second, but long enough. April, that's not... You know what? Never mind. I don't care. I walked past him toward the stairs. Tell Mom her investment in you was wasted. I quit my job last week and accepted a remote position with a completely different company. My old contacts won't help you anymore. Wait, what? He grabbed for me again, but I dodged. You can't just... Watch me. I pushed open the stairwell door. Oh, and Truman? Faith called me last month. Apparently you're still stressed and working late these days. Good luck with that. I ran down 6 flights of stairs and out into the Parisian morning. My phone kept buzzing, but I didn't look at it. Instead, I walked until the streets became unfamiliar and my feet ached in my cheap sneakers. I needed air. I needed space. I needed... Mademoiselle, a voice called out, you look like you could use a drink. I turned. A man sat at an easel in a narrow alley, surrounded by half-finished paintings and an open bottle of wine. He smiled, and for the first time since last night, I felt myself breathe. The artist poured wine into a paper cup and gestured to a rickety stool beside his easel. You have what we call desperate vacation posture, shoulders up to ears, phone clutched like a weapon. His English was perfect, touched with just enough French accent to make it interesting. I hesitated, but something in his easy smile made me take the cup. I'm Vincent, he said, picking up a brush, and you're running from something. That obvious? This is Paris. Half the people here are running from something. He dabbed dark paint onto a canvas, creating what looked like chains. The other half are chasing something, which is worse, I think. I sank onto the stool, the wine warming my throat. What if they're chasing you? Ah, family or lover? Both, at the same time, in my hotel room. Vincent whistled low. That's either a very bad porn movie or a very good drama. The laugh burst out of me unexpectedly. My mother brought my cheating ex-boyfriend to crash my vacation. They're trying to force some kind of reunion because he has connections they want to use. And you came to Paris to escape them? I came to Paris to escape everyone. I watched him paint, the chains taking shape against a golden background. What are you working on? Chains of gold, he said, about the pretty things that trap us. Family obligations, toxic love, money. He glanced at me. The way you flinched at family obligations tells me I'm not far off. My phone buzzed again. Mom's face lit up the screen. Vincent plucked the phone from my hands and turned it off. First rule of running away. Stop carrying your prison with you. It's not that simple. Nothing worth doing ever is. He set the phone aside and picked up a fresh canvas. May I? May you what? Paint you. You have a perfect woman on the verge energy right now, very marketable. I snorted. Thanks, I think. It's a compliment. Most people hide their breaking points. You're wearing yours like expensive perfume. He started sketching quick, confident strokes. I should have felt awkward being studied by a stranger, but something about Vincent's presence was calming, like he'd seen every kind of human drama play out in this alley and found them all equally amusing and tragic. How long have you been in Paris? I asked. 6 years. Came for a woman, stayed for the art. His brush moved faster. She married someone else. I painted their wedding on a church wall, but I made her dress black and his smile cruel. Very therapeutic. Revenge art? The best kind. He grinned. The truth always looks more beautiful when you frame it right. My wine was gone. He poured more without asking. Tell me about your mother. So I did. About the years of emotional blackmail, the drained bank accounts, the guilt trips. About Truman using my industry connections while sleeping with my best friend. About Mom texting him behind my back, plotting this ambush. Vincent listened, painting all the while. When I finished, he turned the canvas toward me. I gasped. He captured me in quick, angry strokes, but behind me loomed 2 shadowy figures with strings attached to my arms and neck. Their faces were masks of greed and false concern. That's exactly how it feels. Art doesn't lie. He signed the corner with a flourish. So what will you do? Run away again, probably find a new hotel. Or, his eyes glinted, you could make them run instead. Something in his tone made me lean forward. What do you mean? You said they want to use you for connections, yes? For their image? He gestured at his paintings. Images can be adjusted. Truth can be framed. Sometimes the best way to break chains is to make them strangle the people holding them. I stared at the painting of me, at those puppet strings, and felt something shift inside my chest. You're talking about revenge. I'm talking about art. Vincent started a new sketch, his smile turning wicked. But in Paris, they're often the same thing. Before I could respond, my phone lit up again. Mom had emailed me. I grabbed it, read the message, and felt my blood turn to ice. She was in my hotel room using my laptop, sending emails to my business contacts about Truman's exciting new venture. I looked at Vincent. Tell me more about revenge art. His grin widened. I thought you'd never ask. The church mural took 3 nights, Vincent said, leading me up narrow stairs to his studio. By morning, half the neighborhood had photos. Her new husband's family was furious. Very religious people. The wedding was called off. And you didn't get in trouble? I signed it with her initials. He unlocked a heavy door. Sometimes the best revenge lets people destroy themselves. The studio was a mess of canvases and paint-splattered tarps. One wall was covered in portraits, all people caught in moments of raw emotion, anger, betrayal, liberation. These are all revenge pieces. These are all stories. He cleared space on a paint-stained couch. Sit. Tell me exactly what your mother's email said. I pulled up the message. Dear Mr. Roberts, I'm reaching out on behalf of my daughter April regarding an exciting investment opportunity. My future son-in-law Truman. My voice cracked. She's using my professional contacts to pitch his business, using my name, my reputation. Perfect. Vincent started sketching rapidly. She's giving us the weapon. My phone rang. Mom again. This time I answered. Where are you? She demanded. We've been worried sick. Get out of my hotel room. Don't be dramatic. I'm helping you. Truman's proposal could make us all. Proposal? My stomach dropped. Oh. She paused. Well, since you're being difficult, I suppose I should tell you. He's planning to propose tomorrow night. At the Eiffel Tower. Very romantic. I helped him pick the ring. The room spun. Vincent stopped sketching, watching my face. You're insane, I whispered. Both of you. I'm trying to fix your life. You're almost 30, working too hard, pushing away everyone who loves you. Everyone who uses me, you mean? I stood up, pacing. Did you tell Quinn about this little scheme? Your sister doesn't understand sacrifice like we do. Sacrifice? The laugh that came out of me was ugly, like when I sacrificed my savings to pay your gambling debts, or when I sacrificed my career to help you start over 3 times. You ungrateful little... No. My voice was steady now. I'm done being grateful for abuse. Delete those emails, get out of my room, or I'll show everyone exactly what kind of mother you really are. I hung up. The phone immediately buzzed with texts. You're making a huge mistake. Truman has changed. Think about your future for once. I only want what's best for you. Don't you dare embarrass me. Vincent took the phone gently from my shaking hands. Tell me about the proposal plan. She's probably lying. No, he shook his head. This fits. Public proposal, witnesses, social media. They want to trap you with an audience. Make it impossible to say no without looking like the villain. Fresh rage boiled up. They don't know me anymore if they think I care about looking like a villain. Good. Vincent pinned a huge canvas to the wall. Because I have an idea, but it will burn every bridge you have with them. Those bridges are already ash. He started painting bold strokes in red and black. They want a public proposal? Let's give them a public execution instead. A knock at the studio door made us both jump. Vincent held a finger to his lips and opened it cautiously. Truman stood there, looking expensive and annoyed. Finally found you. Your mom's tracking your phone. Of course she was. I should have known. We need to talk, he said. Alone? Vincent stepped between us. The lady doesn't want to talk. The lady owes me. Truman's smile turned cruel. Ask her why I'm really here. Ask her about the will her grandparents left, the one that still has me listed as beneficiary. My blood ran cold. What? Your mom told me last month. Very generous inheritance coming your way soon. She promised if I helped to get us back together, she'd make sure I stayed in the will, called it insurance. The world tilted sideways. Grandma had been sick lately, but I didn't know. Get out, Vincent said quietly. Make me street rat. Vincent smiled, the same wicked smile from earlier. No need, but you might want to check your jacket pocket. Paint can be so messy. Truman looked down. Red paint was seeping through his designer jacket, dripping onto the floor. You, he sputtered, backing away. This cost $3,000. Consider it a down payment, Vincent called after his retreating form. Art supplies can be so expensive these days. He turned to me, eyes gleaming. Still want to hear my idea? I picked up a paintbrush. Tell me everything. The key is the red umbrella, Vincent explained, sketching quickly. When you see it open at the top of the tower, that's your cue. Rain drummed on the studio's skylight as we finalized our plan. 3 days had passed since Truman's visit. Mom had escalated from angry texts to tearful voicemails about family loyalty and second chances. Run it through again, Vincent said, mixing paints. Mom and Truman think I've come to my senses. They're planning the proposal for tomorrow night at the tower. I checked my phone. 8 p.m. Mom's already invited half her Facebook friends to watch the live stream. Perfect. And the letter? I held up Truman's fake proposal speech, the one Mom had helped him write. Modified it this morning. Now, instead of promising eternal love, it details every manipulation, every betrayal, every scheme they've pulled. And the painting? We both looked at the massive canvas propped against the wall. Vincent had outdone himself. Mom and Truman portrayed as grotesque puppeteers, their true faces revealed in harsh strokes of red and black, ready to be unveiled, I smiled, along with printed copies of Mom's emails about the inheritance scheme. Vincent stepped closer, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. You're sure about this? Once it starts? I'm sure. I met his eyes. They wanted a public spectacle. They'll get one. His hand lingered on my cheek. We'd been dancing around this tension for days, both focused on the plan, but now... April, he murmured, when this is over. My phone buzzed. Mom, sweetie, just checking what you're wearing tomorrow night. Truman thinks blue would be pretty. Remember that dress you wore to Faith's birthday? The one before, or, well, you know. The audacity made me laugh. The one I was wearing when I caught them together? The past is the past, and it's such a flattering dress. Vincent took the phone. Tell her you'll wear red. Red? Trust me. He started painting again, quick, angry strokes. It'll match the umbrella in the aftermath. I texted back. Red dress. Perfect for pictures. Mom replied instantly with heart emojis. Then, Truman's so excited. He's already got interviews lined up with your old contacts next week. Such a go-getter. Vincent read over my shoulder. They really think you'll just... What? Forgive and forget? Play happy families while they use your connections? They think I'm desperate, alone. I watched him paint. Mom's been telling everyone I'm having a breakdown, that I need family support more than ever. And tomorrow night? Tomorrow night they'll learn what real desperation looks like. A new text came through, from Quinn this time. My sister never called unless she needed money, but apparently Mom had gotten to her. Hey, sis, Mom says you're finally working things out with Truman. That's great. BTW, can you spot me rent this month just until my art takes off? I showed Vincent the message. He snorted. Another artist in the family? She took 3 classes and declared herself the next Picasso. Mom encouraged it, anything to keep her dependent. And you paid her rent? Until 3 months ago. I turned off the phone. That's when I finally said no. Mom called me selfish, said I was abandoning my family. And now they're here to remind you of your place. Vincent stepped back from his canvas. Come look. The painting was me, but not like I'd ever seen myself. In it I stood atop the Eiffel Tower, silhouetted against a blood-red sky, tearing off strings that looked like golden chains. This is how I see you, Vincent said softly. Not their puppet, not their ATM, just free. I kissed him, not like the tentative kisses we'd shared while planning, but fierce and certain. He tasted like wine and paint and possibility. When we broke apart, he pressed his forehead to mine. Tomorrow night, then? Tomorrow night. I looked at the painting again. But first I need to stop by my hotel room. Mom's been living there all week using my things. Be careful. I will. I grabbed my bag. I just need to get something from my laptop. Something that'll make our little show even more interesting. Vincent raised an eyebrow. Do I want to know? Let's just say Mom's not the only one who knows how to keep receipts. I left him smiling at his canvas, adding final touches of red that looked almost like blood in the fading light. The Eiffel Tower glowed against the twilight sky as tourists crowded the observation deck. Mom had orchestrated everything perfectly. Fairy lights, champagne, even a photographer she'd hired to capture the moment. You look beautiful, sweetie, she whispered, adjusting my red dress. I knew you'd make the right choice. Truman stood near the railing, checking his reflection in his phone camera. He'd changed suits 3 times today, finally settling on one that cost more than my monthly rent. The ring box bulged obviously in his pocket. 5 minutes, Mom called out, waving to the small crowd gathering. She'd posted the location on social media hours ago, promising a magical Parisian moment. I scanned the faces until I found Vincent, casually sketching near the elevator. The rolled canvas of his revenge painting lay at his feet, covered in brown paper. My laptop bag sat beside it, filled with printed emails and bank statements. April? Truman approached. Practice smile in place. Can we talk privately for a moment? Mom beamed. Of course you can. But hurry, the lighting is perfect right now. I followed Truman to a quieter corner. He grabbed my hands too tight. Listen carefully. Your mom told me about your grandmother's condition. Terminal, right? Such a shame. My stomach turned. Don't. Here's the deal. Play along tonight. Stay married for 2 years and we split the inheritance 50-50. Fight me and I'll drag out the legal battle until there's nothing left. You really think that's why I'm here? I think you're smart enough to know a good deal. His grip tightened. Your mom's already agreed to testify about your mental state if needed. All those therapy sessions you've been attending, not a great look for inheritance disputes. A flash of red caught my eye. Vincent had opened the umbrella. Showtime. I pulled away from Truman just as Mom clinked a glass for attention. Everyone, if we could gather round. Phones came out. The photographer positioned himself. Mom's Facebook live stream went active. Truman has something very special planned, she announced. April, darling, come here. I walked to the spot they'd marked with rose petals, my heart pounding. Truman followed, reaching for the ring box. Before you start, I said loudly, I have something to say. Mom's smile faltered. Sweetie, that's not the plan. Actually, it is. I nodded to Vincent. He propped up his easel, still covered. I prepared a speech. Truman stepped forward, but I held up my hand. You wanted an audience, right? Well, now you have one. I pulled out the modified proposal letter. Let me read what Truman really wrote, not the proposal, the email he sent my mother 3 weeks ago, planning this whole thing. April, Mom warned, don't you dare. Dear Andrea, I read loudly, the inheritance situation is perfect timing. If we play this right, we can get April back under control before she wastes her grandmother's money on her so-called independence. Tourists were recording now. The photographer looked confused but kept shooting. Where's Gertrude? We'll stage the proposal in Paris where she's emotionally vulnerable. Your idea about using her business contacts for my expansion is brilliant. Once we're married, her trust fund and connections are legally mine. Stop this! Mom lunged for the paper, but I dodged. And don't worry about her fighting back. Those therapy sessions you made her attend, I have a friend who can testify she's unstable. Enough! Truman grabbed my arm. Vincent appeared beside me, red umbrella spinning. Remove your hand, or the next painting I sell will be of this exact moment. Truman let go. I kept reading. We just need to remind her that family comes first, that she owes us, that she's nothing without our guidance. I raised you, Mom screamed. I gave you everything. No. I gestured to Vincent. He unveiled the painting. Gasps rippled through the crowd. You took everything, and now everyone knows. The painting loomed in the tower lights. Mom and Truman as puppet masters, their faces twisted with greed, pulling strings made of dollar signs and guilt. You ungrateful little bitch, Mom hissed and slapped me hard across the face. The crowd erupted. Phones recorded everything. The photographer's camera clicked rapidly. I touched my stinging cheek and smiled. Thank you. For what? She spat. For making sure everyone sees exactly who you are. Vincent's red umbrella twirled above us like a splash of blood against the Paris sky, and somewhere in the chaos I heard the distinctive sound of bridges burning. The video went viral before we even left the tower. Eiffel betrayal started trending, with tourists sharing clips from every angle. Mom's slap became a gif within hours. Look at this one, Vincent said, scrolling through his phone. We sat in his studio, sharing wine and watching the aftermath unfold. Rich mom and ex-boyfriend crash daughter's Paris vacation, get exactly what they deserve. 2 million views already. My own phone hadn't stopped buzzing. Old colleagues, distant relatives, even Faith, all sending messages of support or shock. But one text hit harder than the rest. April? Vincent noticed my hands shaking. What is it? Quinn. I showed him the message. OMG, just saw everything. Mom tried to tell me you were having a breakdown, but I found her burner phone. Saw all the messages with Truman about Grandma's money. I'm so sorry I didn't believe you about her, about everything. Are you okay? I don't know. I took a long drink. She's never apologized before, never taken my side. My phone rang. Grandma's number. I answered on speaker. April Elizabeth. Her voice was still. I just watched a very interesting video. Grandma, Let me finish. Your mother called an hour ago, crying about how you'd lost your mind, humiliated the family. But those emails you read, I recorded the whole thing. Had my nurse help me save it. I held my breath. I always knew Andrea was troubled, but this... She paused. I'm changing my will tomorrow. Everything goes directly to you and Quinn. No trustees, no conditions. But Truman said, Truman's not in my will, dear. Never was. Your mother lied to him, too. She chuckled darkly, though I did enjoy watching him realize that on live video. Very satisfying. After we hung up, Vincent pulled me close. You okay? Better than okay. I showed him the latest viral clip. Truman's face when Mom's slap was caught on camera. Look at the comments. Local artist captures toxic family drama, turns it into masterpiece. He read, painting expected to sell for record price. Your revenge art is famous. Our revenge art? He kissed my temple, though I think your performance was the real masterpiece. My phone buzzed again. Mom, you've ruined everything, she sobbed. The video's everywhere. Truman's investors are pulling out. My friends won't return my calls. How could you do this to your own mother? The same way you tried to auction off my future to the man who cheated on me. My voice was steady. Goodbye, Mom. Wait, I blocked her number. Proud of you, Vincent murmured. A notification popped up. Quinn had posted publicly to everyone asking, yes, that viral video is my family. Yes, it's real. And yes, my sister was right about everything. Mom's been manipulating us for years. April tried to tell me, but I didn't listen. I do now. Eiffel, betrayal. Sorry, April. Tears spilled down my cheeks. Vincent wiped them away with his thumb. Happy tears? Relieved tears. I looked at his latest painting, me in the red dress, face glowing with defiance. It's over, really over. Not quite. He stood, pulling me up. There's one more scene to paint. We walked to his alley where it all began. The wall where we'd first met was blank now, prepped for something new. Help me? He handed me a brush. Together we painted through the night, me in the red dress, the Eiffel Tower behind me, but this time with broken strings falling at my feet. Dawn was breaking when we finished. Perfect, Vincent stepped back, though it needs a title. How about Freedom Costs Everything? None. He smiled. Freedom costs nothing. Chains cost everything. My phone lit up one last time. A message from Truman. Your mom lied about the will. I look like an idiot. My reputation is ruined. I hope you're happy. I took a photo of our new mural and sent it as my only reply. Come on. Vincent took my hand. Let's get breakfast. I know a place with the best revenge-flavored croissants in Paris. I looked at our painting, at the woman with the unbreakable smile, and felt the last weight lift from my shoulders. Lead the way, I said, and didn't look back. The morning sun warmed the tiny balcony of my new apartment as I sipped coffee and watched Paris wake up. Vincent's latest mural stretched across the building opposite. A woman walking away from burning bridges, trailing smoke but never looking back. My phone buzzed. Quinn. Just landed at Charles de Gaulle, she texted. Can't believe I'm actually doing this. I'll meet you at baggage claim, I replied. Vincent emerged from the bedroom, paint streaking his shirt. Ready? Almost. I showed him Quinn's text. Nervous about seeing her. The sister who finally chose your side? He kissed my forehead. Don't be. The drive to the airport was quiet. After the viral video, Quinn had cut contact with Mom, started therapy, and applied to art schools in Paris. When she got accepted, she called me crying. There she is, Vincent pointed. Quinn looked smaller than I remembered, clutching her carry-on like a shield. When she saw me, her face crumpled. I'm so sorry, she whispered as I hugged her, for everything, for not believing you, for taking Mom's side all those years. Hey, I pulled back. We both survived her. That's what matters. But you survived better. She wiped her eyes. You fought back. I just took the easy way out, letting you handle everything. Nothing about any of it was easy. Vincent grabbed her bags. The past makes great art material, but terrible company. Trust me, I've painted mine enough times. At home, Quinn stared at the mural. Is that really how you see me now? She asked. Free? That's not you, I said. It's us, all of us who choose to walk away. My phone lit up. Mom's latest email, forwarded by Grandma. Dear April and Quinn, I'm getting help, real help this time. The therapist says I have narcissistic tendencies and attachment issues. I know it's too late to fix what I broke, but I want you to know I'm trying. No more manipulation, no more guilt. Just, I'm sorry for everything. Quinn read over my shoulder. Do you believe her? I believe she's scared and alone. I deleted the email. But her healing isn't our responsibility anymore. What about Truman? Vincent laughed. Last I heard, he's dating Faith again. They deserve each other. And us? Quinn looked around the apartment at the easels and canvases, the half-finished paintings. What do we deserve? Whatever we choose. I handed her a paintbrush. Starting with this wall, it's looking a bit bare. We painted all afternoon. 3 artists creating something new from the ashes of what we'd burned. Quinn's strokes were hesitant at first, then bolder. Vincent added splashes of gold that caught the light like hope. As sunset painted Paris in amber, we stood back to admire our work. 3 figures on a bridge walking toward a rising sun. Behind them, shadows tried to grab their ankles but couldn't quite reach. It needs a title, Quinn said. Family of choice, Vincent suggested. No, I dipped my brush in red paint. How about forward? I signed my name first. Quinn added hers below, then Vincent. The wet paint glistened like promises. My phone buzzed one last time. Grandma. Just checking in, she said when I answered. Quinn arrived safely? She's here. We're painting. Good. And Andrea? Still blocked. Smart girl, she paused. You know, I always wondered which of you would break free first. Should have known it would be you. You were always stronger than her chains. After we hung up, Vincent wrapped his arms around me. Quinn added final touches to the mural, humming softly. Happy? He asked. I looked at our creation. Not a revenge piece this time, but a declaration. At Quinn finding her own voice stroke by stroke. At the city spread out below us, full of possibilities we'd chosen for ourselves. Happy, I agreed, and free. The setting sun caught the wet paint, making it shimmer like new beginnings. Somewhere in the distance, church bells rang, but for once they didn't sound like guilt. They sounded like victory. Vincent squeezed my hand. Quinn stepped back from the wall, and together we watched our future dry.